Hey YouTube, I got something interesting to show you today. It is the CMC Chip McCormick 3.5 pound flat single stage trigger out of Texas. Now, if it comes out of Texas, it's got to be all right. So we're going to try it out. We're going to test against a couple other triggers and see what you think. So stay tuned. One of the things you'll notice about this trigger when you get it is that it comes with trigger pins that are anti-walk pins. They already come with a little bit of Loctite on the ends. It comes with the wrenches, the tools that you need. Pretty easy to use. We're going to use a Wheeler trigger pull gauge to check the trigger pull on this and see if it actually measures the 3.5 pounds. It's actually coming in more like 2 3/4 pounds. So we test it, 3 times just to make sure that it's consistent. I'm pulling in the middle of the trigger because I wanted to. It's easier to pull there because on the mil-spec trigger you're going to be putting your finger in the middle of the trigger instead of on the bottom. So I just wanted to be consistent. You're going to get less trigger pull if you pull from the bottom of the trigger because you just have more leverage there. So around 2.5 to 2 3/4 pull on a 3.5 pound trigger. It's kind of crazy, but it's awesome trigger for a cassette drop-in trigger. Very easy to install. You just put it in and put your crosswalk pins through. Now here we're checking the over travel and reset, and just visibly you can tell that it's very minimal. Very little travel in this trigger and very little reset, so it's very fast. I can almost shoot this as fast as I can with an echo trigger. Here's a little bit more scientific test. I'm going to put this scale on here, pull the trigger, and I've marked the scale where it's at right now, and then we're going to look at it and see what it measures at. So it measures right in at an 1/8 inch pull. And the reset is exactly the same. So here's a mil-spec trigger. We're going to see what it does. So this one came in right at 6.5 pounds. So you can already tell how big of a difference there is between the CMC trigger and your mil-spec trigger. Again, we'll test this 3 times just to make sure it's consistent, and every time it's around 6.5 pounds. So here we're going to do our semi-scientific test on travel. Neither trigger has very much pre-travel. They're pretty crisp, they break clean, yet the overall travel is, there's a significant difference. Whereas there's an 1/8 inch on the CMC trigger, on the mil-spec trigger, you're over a 1/4 inch on the pull. As you can see, the trigger almost travels all the way to the back of the trigger guard. So by all counts, the CMC trigger is better than the mil-spec trigger, especially if you're a recreational shooter, whether it's 3-gun or hunting or bench rest shooting. The CMC trigger is going to far outperform your standard mil-spec trigger, and it's not that expensive, around $129 on sale most of the time. All right, so I got one more trigger to test before we close this video out. So we're going to check out the Star Team plasma rifle. Star Team plasma rifle. Well, we're going to see if this trigger is better than the standard AR-15 or this Chip McCormick 3.5 pound trigger pull. So here we go. We got our trusty gauge. We're going to pull this trigger. Safety first. You want to make sure that you're always unloaded. Okay, well, I just blew a hole through my basement wall. But, as you can see, it breaks at even 1 pound. So, by far, plasma rifle has a better trigger than CMC. I'm sorry, Chip McCormick. your trigger sucks in comparison to plasma rifles. So anyway, to close this video out, plasma rifles, best trigger on earth, but CMC is close second. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I guess we'll catch you later. Bye.